These things can and have happened to cruisers, whether you're a first-time cruiser or an avid cruiser. Watch out, because these things can ruin your cruise. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now I have to say, one of these things did happen to us many years ago, and while they didn't ruin our entire cruise, they did ruin a portion of it. Now in this video, I'm going to share some things. Well, maybe you know a few of these, but some of these things are even beyond our control, and they can actually ruin a cruise. Now, other things we can do a little bit about it. So I do think that this video can be helpful. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, getting a bad sunburn and or heat stroke. Now, this is, I think, a pretty common problem on cruises. People don't realize that when they're laying out in the sun all day, especially when they're on the cruise ship, that the sun is really hot, you can get a sunburn and you can get heat stroke. And honestly, when you get heat stroke, you just do not feel well. Now, in my husband's case, a few years ago, he just didn't like to really use sunscreen. He thought he had an olive skin tone, so he wouldn't get sunburn. And honestly, just take my advice, put on some sunscreen at least the first few days. Well, he ended up getting so sunburned that at the time we did have formal night. I think he might have even had a tuxedo. We were like waiting in line to go into the main dining room, and he looked like he was about to faint. We had to go back to the cabin. He felt absolutely awful. He had to lay down. He was coating himself with aloe vera. The next few days he had to wear a t-shirt. Anyway, this was not the greatest. So put on sunscreen, have your aloe vera just in case. And honestly, you don't want to get heat stroke, so drink a lot of water. Number two, cruising with the wrong people. Now, who are the wrong people? Well, the wrong people are people that you don't want to cruise with. So this might be in-laws, this might be friends that you go on a cruise with, and you realize that, wow, you are really not compatible to go on vacation with. This can be any type of group cruise. So you do want to be careful not only who you're cruising with, but careful as well to set up the right expectations for your cruise, because otherwise you have maybe wasted a cruise vacation and had a miserable time. Now, by the way, please let me know if you've had any of these poor experiences cruising with the wrong people. Number three, missing the cruise ship, but it's not what you think. Of course, you should fly in a day or even 2 days before your cruise so you don't miss the cruise ship on embarkation day. But beyond that, there are actually ways that people have missed their cruise ship that you would really probably not think about. So one of those ways is not knowing the correct cruise port that the cruise is leaving from. Yes, I have seen this before where people thought they were leaving from Fort Lauderdale and instead they were leaving from Port Canaveral. That is really a very big difference between Port Everglades and Port Canaveral, about 3.5 hours drive. And yes, they did miss the cruise ship. Other people have missed the cruise ship because they got to the cruise embarkation port a day late. So that is also something that you don't want to do. Be very careful to get to the cruise ship on time. Number four, drinking too much on the first day of the cruise. Now, drinking too much at any point during the cruise could have a ramification, but starting off on embarkation day, drinking too much, well, just sets you up on the wrong foot. A lot of people do that. They drink too much on embarkation day, especially if they do have a beverage package. They end up perhaps drinking into the night, then the whole next day is ruined. And oftentimes because you're at sea, well, maybe then you set off some sort of motion sickness. Is just a really bad idea. Be careful how much you consume. Number five, speaking of motion sickness, I just have to mention this one, not being prepared for the potential of getting seasick on a cruise. Now, hopefully you don't get seasick on a cruise, but just bring seasickness medication, the non-drowsy kind. Now, we've cruised with other people that didn't bring seasickness medication, and what I mean is other people on the cruise ship, and we'd meet them on the cruise ship and they would explain they're so seasick, and then finally they would go and either buy seasickness medication or pick up some free seasickness medication when sometimes the cruise lines do give that out at customer service. And while you can definitely do that, it's so much better to bring it with you, because if you don't take your seasickness medication right away, you actually let your seasickness get worse. The best thing is always to take it right away so you nip it in the bud. Number 6, now this one is really outside of your control, but it is when you have a major change in the itinerary. Now, this does sometimes happen. Sometimes perhaps there's a hurricane or there's another type of, it's often storm related. But if this happens, the cruise line or the cruise ship simply can't go where it was originally intended to go. This does happen occasionally. People book a Bermuda cruise and unfortunately then they're diverted to Canada, New England. Now, Canada, New England is not a bad place to go. But if you've pretty much packed beachwear, well, that does make a little bit of a change. So just be careful, in particular during hurricane season, because these things can happen. But otherwise, it doesn't have to ruin your cruise. You can still make the best of it and have a good time. Now, speaking of itinerary, something else that can ruin your cruise is picking the wrong itinerary, the wrong cruise line, or the wrong cruise ship. Now, oftentimes we talk about picking the wrong cruise ship because honestly, if the cruise ship just doesn't suit your needs and preferences as for how you like to vacation, you're probably going to hate cruising. So that is really important. But itinerary is also important. I know people who recently went on a Mediterranean cruise, and it was really hot in the Mediterranean. Of course, it was summertime. And they said, oh my goodness, we love beaches, and it really wasn't a beach holiday. They said it was so hot, and that Europe was all about sightseeing and museums and going to churches and walking. And they said they really just wanted beach days. So really, that itinerary wasn't for them. Not being prepared for the weather. Now, perhaps this is why I overpack, but I hate to be cold, and I honestly don't want to be damp and wet. So you do really want to make sure that you know what the weather, well, potentially will be like on your cruise. And then make sure if it's going to be very hot, perhaps bring a handheld fan. If it's going to be very cool, then just make sure that you have a lightweight but good quality jacket to keep you warm and especially to shield you from the wind. If it's expected to be rainy, don't let it ruin your cruise. You still want to get out there and you want to visit, but bring ponchos and rain jackets and any other rain gear you need. Lost luggage. Now, lost luggage honestly does have the potential to really affect a cruise. Let's face it, if you get on board your cruise and you don't have your luggage with you, all of the things that you took time to pack and to choose your outfits, well, you are going to be very disappointed. So there are a couple of things that you can do. Firstly, make sure you fly in or arrive a day or two before. This way you're kind of hedging your bets on your side. You have time for luggage to arrive if it did get lost while you were flying over. But beyond that, make sure that you have at least a couple of outfits that are in your carry-on bag. Make sure that you do bring them on embarkation day as well. And the little tip, make sure that you bring a bathing suit in your carry-on bag. I recently read a comment from someone who said she didn't pack her bathing suit or cover up in her carry-on bag when she was flying, and unfortunately her luggage did get lost. It didn't make it to the cruise ship on time. She didn't have a bathing suit. And while you can still buy a bathing suit sometimes on the cruise ship, but otherwise in a cruise port of call, well, you know the way it is. It is hard to find a bathing suit that you feel comfortable with. So make sure that you always pack that in your carry-on bag. Oh yes, and also make sure that you do put an air tag in your luggage just in case. Getting sick on a cruise. Now personally, this is always something that I do worry about just a little bit because I know if I don't feel well, it has the potential to ruin my vacation. So something that you'll want to do is you do want to protect yourself firstly against viruses the most that you can. So whether it's norovirus or colds or anything else, you kind of want to do what you can, wash your hands, that kind of thing. You know the drill. But beyond that, make sure that you bring cold medication. Make sure that you bring throat lozenges. Make sure that you bring over-the-counter pain relief. And as well, consider Pepto-Bismol. It's not something that people often think about, but we're eating differently on a cruise, and you never know when you have an upset stomach, so that is something good to bring. Not being comfortable in your cruise cabin. So whether it is because your bed is uncomfortable and you're just not sleeping well, or perhaps you're right next door to somebody else that is making a lot of noise, watch for those connecting cabins. There can be a variety of things that make you not that comfortable in your cruise cabin. And one of those is even being too hot in your cruise cabin. So something that you can do is actually bring a little fan so that you can have the air circulate while you are in your cabin. Now, I am going to leave a video right after this one in case you're interested all about cruise cabin essentials, things that you could bring to make your cabin more comfortable and even more organized. Now, I would love to hear from you. Please let me know what are the things that have the potential to ruin a cruise. Have any of these things ever happened to you? Please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.